Yo, what's going on, my trailblazing nation? The sheriff is here, and it's that time again to talk about Boku no Hero Academia, or My Hero Academia, whatever you like to call it. This is going to be episode 3. Just gonna throw up a picture and just talk in the background. I mean, if you guys really do like that, let me know in the comment section, or if you want for me to have a little bit of face cam, if you guys would like to do that, would like me to do that rather. Definitely just let me know, and I'll see what I can do. I'm flying solo today, so we're actually gonna get into episode 3 of My Hero Academia, because these are like the episodes that make me really love the series. Even from when I started reading the manga, like maybe a year or two ago. I think it's been like a year. I think it's been like a year or a year and a half or 2 years since I've been reading it. But whatever, why don't we just go on ahead and jump into this episode review. So if you are enjoying My Hero Academia, or if you just like it in general and you just want to keep up to date on it, especially season 2, everything I have here, I have a playlist of just everything that's season 2. I'm also going to be talking about different characters and stuff like that. Definitely go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and yeah, man, go ahead and join, man. We're on the road to 100 subscribers. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this episode, because this episode was actually really action-packed. Well, as far as action goes, you just have to love these characters. Like, I think that's the best thing I love about this series is the characters. So we jump off in the episode where my homeboy Shoto Toradoki, or I would like to call him Icy Hot, because first he's icy and then in a few weeks he'll be hot. But without further ado, so like I was saying, the episode begins off just kind of with after Shoto. I'm just gonna call him Shoto because I keep saying Toradoki, and I feel like I'm saying that wrong. If I'm saying that wrong, say something. Just definitely say something. But Shoto had he just did that excellent display of his abilities where he's just kind of freezing the robots, and he runs up underneath them just so he can keep going. This man is super determined to show off the best of his abilities, and everyone is pretty much like kind of like, you know, he's tactically attacking and defending. Like, they're really praising the guy. Leaving Izuku, Deku, rather, Bakugou and company kind of behind. But you know, they're all finding a way to get actually through the ice, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll just run up under the legs. And he's like, and you know, Shoto, he's like, I wouldn't do that if I were you, because if you do that, he's like, you know, the icy maid was really thin. It was only to freeze to give him enough time to get up under, and not any of the other classmates. So while everyone else is kind of fighting off, so the rest of the class, and by the class I mean class 1A and the other participants as well. So while the rest of the classmates are fighting off the robots to get through, Deku, or Izuku, is like, I can't really use my quirk here because, as we all know, he is pretty much a glass cannon. He's the biggest glass cannon in the series. So he's like, I can't really rely on my ability here because we don't know how many other events he's got to go through in order to get through this whole thing safely. So he's like, I need to find a way. So he actually finds a discarded piece of like one of the robots, and he has a plan to like actually like strap it to himself and use it to like protect himself as he's getting through, as he's kind of slowly kind of progressing through the rest of the course. Now, as this is all going on, Bakugou is pretty much like, screw all of this. Bakugo is pretty much like, screw all this. He pretty much can use his explosion quirk to basically propel himself forward like Iron Man. That's the best way to kind of describe it. If you watch the anime, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He pretty much propels himself forward just so he can keep up with Shoto. Because for Bakugou, that's kind of like his biggest, he's pretty much rivaling himself with him, because, you know, Shoto and some of the other classmates got into the school through recommendation only. They didn't have to go through like an entrance exam like Izuku did, and, you know, and some of the other students. And they're pretty much showing why these guys got in through recommendations, because they are highly skilled, and they're pretty much top contenders to be top heroes. So as we keep going through the course, they actually stumble upon another section of kind of like this it's kind of like a track as they are proceeding on the track basically, and we come across this huge minefield where literally everything's kind of covered up with mines, so as you're running they can explode and they can kind of impede your progress. So you know Shoto Shoto is pretty much just kind of gliding through this. He's skillfully just running and still, being able to just he keeps going. He basically keeps going. He doesn't stop because he's really trying to prove to a certain someone that he is amazing. He is amazing, but I won't get into that right now. Um so this is pretty much where the episode pretty much like really really picks up, because Bakugou, he doesn't have to step on anything. He is flying through he is literally flying inches above the mines with his quirk, so he can still keep up with Shoto, who is literally running and skillfully dodging all of them, and everyone else is pretty much everyone is pretty much just trying to run through, explode. Everyone else is kind of struggling. Um, and Izuku, he gets this great idea. Where he kind of see how Bakugou uses his quirk, where he's using explosions to propel himself forward. And this kid, no lie, this is why I call Izuku my son. This is why he is my son. He is a genius. So what he does is he actually gets a whole I'm trying to figure out a way. He gets a whole like bunch of the mines, and he literally he literally straps the piece of metal from the discarded robot from earlier, because he's been toting this thing with him the entire episode, and he literally throws all of his entire body on top of the piece of metal, on top of the mines, causes this huge explosion, and he is literally propelled up into the front. So he's like up with he's literally catching up with Shoto and Bakugou at an alarming rate. So it was amazing. It was so cool to see. So he's just spinning, and he's coming in hot, and and Shoto and Bakugou, they turn around, they're like, what in the world is going on? Because these guys are duking it out as they're going, like they're fighting, they're Shoto and Bakugou, they're fighting, as they keep going. Like, it's really impressive, like these two characters, those two characters just in general. But Izuku literally is catching up with both of them. So these two decide to stop fighting with each other, because they're like, oh, he just had this idea to propel him up to the, propel him ahead of us. So as Izuku is falling, he's basically like kind of caught in like a free fall. And basically, he knows as soon as he lands, he's not going to be able to catch up with them anymore. So if this is where this kid's brilliance just shines. Like literally as he's like maybe like a few feet in the air, kind of looks like a few inches from the ground, as far as like the anime renders it out. But this kid basically uses Bakugou and Shoto to basically propel himself forward, causing another explosion to shoot him in the lead. Like, it was by far amazing. Like, the split second decisions, like, and he did everything off of a whim. Like, literally from the explosions, from him jumping, like throwing his body onto the mines to propel himself forward. It was all last minute thinking, but it was that last minute thinking that propelled him forward to the finish line. And as he comes in running in, getting the first place. And then after that, pretty much there, even All Might was kind of blown back. He was like, oh, I didn't think he was going to, oh shit, I didn't think he was going to get this far. Good job. Vote of confidence from All Might, really, not really. But, in the end, he was like, I still love you. And then we get into the second, and then one of the I think, I forget her name. Someone's gonna crucify me in the comments, but we have another one of the exam proctors, not exam proctors, but the lady at the lady who's explaining the rules for the next event, and basically this, depending on where you placed in the last event, determines how many points you're worth for this next like 3-man competition. And we come to figure out that Deku, because he got first place, he is now worth 10 million points. So now everybody eyes is on him for the next event, which sends him into kind of a shock. And then that's kind of where the episode does kind of leave off on. But like I said, this episode was definitely a ton of fun to watch. If you guys are watching it or you need to know where to watch it, it's definitely playing on, I think it's playing on Crunchyroll and Funimation. So definitely go check the anime out. If you haven't yet, it's definitely one of my personal favorites. And in the comments below, let me know what was your favorite part of the episode. I would really like to know that. And with the new characters and, well, not new characters, but with, Shoto showing off his stuff, do you like him a little bit more as a character? I'm actually liking Bakugou a lot more, as just kind of like as a character, right next to like Izuku, and stuff like that. But let me know who your favorite character is, and definitely let me know what your favorite part of the episode was. Anyway, I'm gonna hop up out of here. I'm gonna see you Trailblazers in the next episode. Peace.